Recording.
Alright, well, I'm on my way to Fourways and Cloncurry this morning. Got a nice early start. It's just 6:30 in the morning, and as you can see, dawn is only just breaking sort of behind me in the over my left shoulder to the west, to the east, and so yeah, I've just got to take it slow. Not that I can take it quickly on this bike. It's a good, I've got a good head start on the day because the heat's going to be up, and I want to have made some progress before that happens. So I've got to the Birkenwills Junction 192 and then 370, I think it is, I forget what was on that signboard, to Cloncurry. So come what may, I've got a big day. The Birkenwills Junction is Fourways, and there is a roadhouse there, and I think a motel, so there'll probably be rooms available. But well, this is really interesting. I'm just riding through acres and acres of these anthills or termite mounds or whatever, just on both sides of the road. I'll see if I'm going to do a turn here. And this is incredible. Just how many there are. Let's see if I can get off with this bike not going over. I'm riding into a little bit of a headwind, yet when I stand here I can't feel it. It's the strangest thing. Yet on the ride there's definitely a bit of a headwind. It's kind of coming from what I would call the southeast, and yeah, it's certainly having an impact on the performance of the Red Peril. I've got to adjust the chain this evening. I notice that's getting a bit slack. There's also a bit of oil coming out and running down the side stand. It might just be a seal from the front sprocket there that might just be oozing a bit of oil, but I need to watch that. Oh wow, there's some big event going on here. Well, I'm just on my way. I've just left the Birkenwills Roadhouse at Fourways, and
Device connected.
And I'm on my way to Mount Isa this morning. And after my ordeal last night, which I might relate along the way here, excuse me. Well, I've got 284 kilometers to go at 7:30 in the morning, and I'm doing 60 kilometers an hour. I'm riding into, as I did yesterday, a slight headwind, and well, more than a slight, a little breeze that's blowing into me, and that really puts the drogue brake on and slows me down. Well, I'm now down to 57 kilometers an hour because I got the double whammy of a headwind and a slight uphill, and yeah, that's always a challenge for this little bike loaded up like this. So 283 kilometers now, and to Mount Isa. Apparently there's a shutdown at the mine, and the town is full of artisans and engineers and all that, and I'm unlikely to get a room tonight, but I've got the tent and everything, so I can always camp somewhere, and yeah, we'll do it from there. I'm just going to put my Audible book on now. Oh God, here we go. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this image. Today is election day, and here you go. Bob Catter for this district of Kennedy. No, it's a massive area. I've seen these posted everywhere, and you've got to say Bob Catter. Oh boy, Bob Catter for Kennedy. Why not? Well, I'm on my way out of Camberwell now, and I'm headed toward the Northern Territory border, just 12 kilometers away, and then from there on to Barclay Homestead. So just 190 kilometers to do today, which is compared to yesterday's 470 or something, 480. This is a really comfortable day's ride. So I should be there, around midday at the latest. Yeah, so I'm just going to take it nice and slow. No other option on this. Take it nice and slowly, and just enjoy the coolness right now. It's pretty fresh. I'm going to say it's probably around sort of 19 degrees or so. So no fuel for 376 kilometers, that says. Well, I got a full tank, so I should be able to do that. And I think that goes all the way to 3 ways. So yeah, if I just putter along, 376 kilometers should be pretty easy. And yeah, got the sun rising sort of behind me over my right shoulder. You see my shadow over to the left there. And yeah, it's quite a nice morning. Very nice. So just had a good night's sleep last night, a couple of glasses of wine. I've got the reserves from that left over in my pannier bags, just in case I get caught out on the side of the road. I got something to keep me company. And then I got some food, I got some water, but the bike's going okay. So, alright, well, I've reached the border at the Northern Territory in Queensland, and just let this road train slide by. He's impressed with the Postie. I'm impressed with his rig. Alright, well, here goes the road train, and he was very impressed with my Postie, Parked here just for a photo opportunity at the Northern Territory border. Let me just lift this. So the road train driver was quite impressed that there was a Postie parked out here to get a picture of this border crossing. So there you go. I'm at the Northern Territory border, and from here it's probably another 160 kilometers to Barclay Homestead. Apparently there's no fuel until I get to Three Ways. I don't know, I thought there was some fuel at Barclay Homestead, but maybe that's not the case. Doesn't matter. I've got the range to be able to get to Three Ways, and then I head north from there. So one photo opportunity. Nice morning. Look at how kind of wintry it looks out here. So yeah, let's take a photo on my mobile phone. I used to ride with this guy John Baker, and he was a bit of a stickler for doing things correctly. Everything needed to be done correctly, and one of them is when you take a photo, you can't have your own shadow in the image. That's just a photographic no-no. Well, I don't know how you take some of these shots without having that happen. So, sorry John, my apologies, mate. Well, just spotted this, which is my right-hand rear indicator, completely been melted by just the heat coming out of that exhaust all the time, and I can smell the plastic. But yeah, that's unexpected, that's for sure. So I'll have to order another one from Lambda and see if I can get it to Darwin, and I can replace it there. Well, I've been on the road for about an hour now. Well, no, more than an hour, about an hour and 20 minutes or so. And yeah, it's just flat and straight. What can I say? You can see this road going ahead there. There's not a hint of a bend in it, and I think, you know, other than a few slight gentle curves ahead, I've got 170 kilometers to go to Barclay Homestead. So what have I done? I've done about 100 kilometers then, and yeah, I'm just trying to see what range I get out of the main tank on the bike under the seat, the 5-litre tank. I'm hoping to get to the next rest stop, which is in about 45 kilometers from here. Yeah, that'll be a stretch, but anyway, we'll see what sort of range I get. I guess this thing's going to start spluttering about 30 kilometers off from now.
Recording.
Well, I've got 124 k's to Barclay Homestead, so I've done about 150 or something like that, and I just stopped at a rest stop, and oh god, I'm in fly country again, and these flies, and they are so persistent. They get in everywhere. They got to get in your eyes, in your ears, in your mouth. Wherever there's any moisture, they go for it. So I had a quick drink of water. I put the drone up for what it's worth. Very flat country and territory around here, and nothing of any note, but it gives a sense of just how flat and barren this country is out here. Although, I've got to say the bush is looking really good. There's lots of grass, so I'm guessing that the cattle are doing well right now, after many years of drought and all of that. That's certainly been broken, and you can just see by just how much grass there is that the cattle must be doing pretty well out of that right now. Well, I've discovered, and I should have spotted this yesterday, of course I should have, why this exhaust has burnt through my indicator, and that's because it had dropped, because this bolt had loosened, and I'd lost that bolt hanging in the exhaust there, and obviously then the whole exhaust dropped a bit, and that was it. Now when I started it this morning, I heard some rattling from the exhaust, and it seemed firm at the header. Well, it is firm at the header. I've just retightened those bolts. They were tight, but that's the reason that the exhaust dropped and then burnt the indicator. So that shouldn't happen again, all things being equal. Well, I've just left Barclay Homestead, where I spent last night, and that's after riding from Camberwell, so today I'm on my way to Three Ways and then Renner Springs Roadhouse, which is I'll tell you how far away. It's 323 kilometers that I've got, and it's just 8 o'clock in the morning, Northern Territory time, and so I got plenty of time. Found the issue with my right rear indicator, why it was burning. I'd lost a bolt off the exhaust bracket, and the exhaust was hanging down directly behind that indicator. So I've put another bolt on there with a self-locking nut, and I'll just keep checking that to make sure that doesn't happen again. I thought I'd put Loctite everywhere, but clearly that's not the case, and I lost that bolt. Just goes to show. Spring washers do half a job. That's probably the best I can say about them. Anyway, I'm on my way. Got a full tanks, and top my oil up. When I get to Three Ways, I'll buy another litre of oil. With the tailwind and some of the heat, I'm using a bit of oil. I'm not really concerned about it, but I just need to watch that. I'm not losing oil. The bike's not smoking, it's not sluggish, it's not making noises, the engine sounds good, and it's not leaking anything. So I think it's just burning a bit of oil, just because of distance and just the heat of the motor. So I'll just keep topping it up. for the time being.
Recording.
This guy walking down this road, sweeping it with a broom. Now, I am from Barclay Homestead right now. I'm about 35 kilometers, and I'm 145 kilometers from Three Ways. That's a lot of road to sweep, in my view, with one broom, one dude sweeping the road. I'm astounded. I really should have stopped and asked him why, but perhaps that would have been a bit cruel. He's sweeping the side of this road with a broom. No. He's not in... I'm sure he's not doing community service or something like that. Even if he was doing that, for God's sake, something more useful. But sweeping the side of this road with a broom, one guy. Oh my God. Well, I've just noticed that I've gone over 5,000 kilometers since leaving Sydney, and so that puts me about a third of the way around, kilometer wise, probably a little bit less than, you know, I'm going to imagine that I'm going to do somewhere between 15.5 and 16,000 kilometers to get around, and so I'm around a third of the way around, let's put it that way, which yeah, that's quite, I feel like that's quite an accomplishment already on this little bike. And you know, I've had a few little issues and nothing of any significance yet. Touch wood, I don't want to jinx myself. There's a long way to go still, and you know, I'm not flogging it. I'm sitting on 70 kilometers an hour on these roads, and flogging it is pushing it up to 75 and between 75 and 80, and I'm just not going to do that. It sits quite happily at this speed if there's no headwind, which there isn't. There's a bit of a tailwind on me, which is very fortunate, and so I'm puttering along around 70 kilometers an hour, and yeah, the world slides by. There's not a lot to see out here, that's for sure. 1 kilometer is very much the same as the next. It's a long way between rest stops, sometimes between 60 and 80 kilometers, and so I kind of target those, get off the bike, have a drink of water, and then press on again to the next rest stop. So that's the kind of general plan, and I've got 170 k's to go from here to the Three Ways intersection and the roadhouse there, where, you know, I'll stop, have a decent break, because that'll put me sort of well over halfway to Renner Springs, and then I've got the rest of the ride from there heading north. I'm hoping that I don't run into a crosswind or a headwind on that northward leg, because there's quite a way to go there. Well, I'm just approaching the Three Ways intersection with the Barclay Highway and Stewart Highway, and then from here I'll head north, But first, I'm gonna take a break, get a coffee, get something to eat, relax up a bit, just check the bike out.
Recording.
Okay, well, I've arrived at Three Ways, and just gonna put some fuel in the bike, and then go and grab something to eat and get a hold of coal. 136 kilometers from Renner Springs, where I'm going to finish off for today, and it's 989 kilometers to Darwin, so just under 1,000 kilometers from here, from Three Ways to Darwin. And so I'm making reasonably good progress. It's Monday. So yeah, I could be, well, I might spend a couple of days in Catherine, since I've got some, I'll probably have some time on my hands, all things being equal. So Catherine might be a good place just to hang out for an extra day. I'll see how I go.